So we're just waiting for a few people to jump on, and then we will start the
It's just
stream.
whenever we're both on the same thing together, there, and it always goes wrong, right?
I know it's like the gremlins in the works, and it's just like, yeah, we don't want to play ball.
Yeah,
Do
this is
not want
true.
to play ball.
Yeah, this is true.
So let's get some sharing going.
Hope everybody's well this evening and is all doing good.
Because we have got one hell of a lineup tonight. You're gonna enjoy this. You're really gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you absolutely are. It's it's going to be a lot of fun.
Let's share that. Okay, there we go. We got Max on. Welcome,
That's all
buddy.
you need, right?
That's it. That's all we need.
That is all you need. I think. I think if you got Max on, everything's going to be well in the world.
That's it.
Right?
Right, we've got 5 people joined us already. So brilliant.
That's good. That's good.
We're getting there, John. We are definitely getting there. So thank you very much to everyone that's joined so far. Really do appreciate it. Now today we're going to have just John's. I don't know what we can say about your voice, but
Dulcet tones. Dulcet,
something like that.
beautiful tones.
We kind of figured John's got a face for the radio, so we put him where he
We
fits.
literally did that, right? So now not only have I got, I am just the radio.
That's it.
And
You
I've
know,
even got my banner up. We've got you could imagine. I've got the Twisted Dice banner behind me. I'm wearing my beautiful cap, and I am adhered in my Twisted Dice gear,
that's
and
it.
I'm getting excited to talk all things Twisted Onslaught. Unfortunately, you're just going to have to imagine that through the medium of sound and through Darren's beautiful face.
And you've summed that up really, really well. So
I think so. I think so.
so let us know who we have got in the chat so far. Drop some comments down. Let us know who is in with us.
We've got 7 now, Darren. By my watch,
We
we've
have
got
got
7.
7. We have definitely got 7.
8, 8.
Oh, still
Any
saying 7.
advances? Any advances on 8? Can you give me 9?
Come on, let's go for 10. 10's a
Still 8.
magical number.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe. Well, look, they've got Britain's Got Talents on TV, and they're much more entertaining than us, right? Surely.
Well, who wants to see Britain's Got Talent when they got me? Hey. Actually, good point.
Britain most certainly hasn't got talent there. Hi, Thomas, James, evening. We have 14 in the chat, Darren. It's just jumped up big time.
Oh wow. Okay.
Someone's got the message. Either that or there's a bit of a delay. But hello, guys. Thank you for joining us. We will crack on with the show pretty soon. We don't want to kind of leave you hanging, but obviously we've got a really really exciting content to show you, and I can't wait to show you because I've seen it and I loved it and it was so cool. So I can't wait to show you that. But we also got some really obviously important stuff. There's quite a lot of serious stuff going out in the world, and we really want to make sure that we can bring you this amazing tournament that we've been working so hard to deliver for you. And it's been obviously incredibly difficult process, and I think we've aged about 20 years in the last kind of 2 weeks. But we're getting there, so we obviously need to go through all the important stuff, and because of that I want to try and make sure that we've got as many of you as I can. Obviously this video will go up afterwards, we'll make sure that happens, but still we want to try and get as many people in, so we'll wait a little bit longer, but once we get going, guys, we'll hammer through. This isn't going to be a long drawn out show. We'll get through the meat and veg. We're going to have a bit of fun at the end, and then if you want to see more, then obviously we'll do further videos as well. So but we're not going to take much of your Saturday night. We just want to obviously share some really exciting stuff, and you're going to find out who you're playing, guys, ultimately, and that's why you're here. You're not here to listen to me, and you're certainly not here to look at Darren.
No, I'd be worried if you were here to look at me.
I bet there's some people that have Darren. I bet they are. I bet they're sitting there in their pants looking at you, Darren, right now.
God, that's an image you don't want to think about, and you just lost a viewer there, John. So
do you think we're
yeah,
16 now, right?
No, we've got 13.
No, I've got 16 on my screen, my friend. 16 says here.
I think it's
definitely says 16.
I think we need to just start the
And
the
we've
show
got. Let me
going.
just give some shout outs. We got who have we got? We got Mike, Ian. we've got Lee, we've got Grant, we've got somebody called Bits Wabats, which is Franco, I think. Yeah, that is Franco. Franco, what a terrible name. But hello, Franco, we love you. So we've got some people here. We've just dropped down to 14, so I've obviously put some people off by listening, by starting to picture you, Darren, mostly.
Yep.
But yeah, I think look, let's get this ball rolling. Let's jump straight in there. And obviously, if you do come back and listen to this, then obviously you can watch it back.
Much
So
appreciated.
Darren, take it away because you're the one that's up to speed more than me. So let's go for this. Tell me
Okay,
what we
so
got.
the first thing we've got to talk about on the agenda, and this is a really really important one. This is around the health and safety side of the tournament. So at the moment we've got the green light, so everything's all go, which is a massive. But there's a few things that we've got to adhere to and we've got to follow. So by the end of before the tournament starts, I need everyone to message me personally. I'm going to need all your full details. I need your full name, your address. I need to know an email address and a phone number as well, please. That is so we can comply with the track and trace system. So if anyone does come down with anything and it gets reported later on, I need those details to pass on to the authorities. So so we comply to that side of things. So that is absolutely crucial. If I don't have those details, I can't let you into the venue. That's a must straight away. I know I've gone through some of this already on some of the other videos, but I can't stress how important this next bit really is. So the next part up is when coming into the property itself. So at the beginning of the morning, when you turn up, what I'm going to need you to do is stay outside the venue at the beginning. If I can get everyone to, once I've got everyone's number, I'm going to create a WhatsApp group. And then what I'm going to do through that day, I'm going to communicate via WhatsApp in, and I'll explain a little bit further on. So as soon as we turn up, everyone's turned up, wait outside in the car park. Obviously, try not to, look, it's not a case of not try. Please don't be in groups more than 6. It's got to be spread out as best you can. We've got the graveyard as well as the car park itself. So it's probably best if you stay in the car itself. With regards to your armies, I'm going to need you, if you can. I know some people are going to be travelling up via taxis, trains, etc. So the next part is going to be a little bit tricky. And once I get into the venue, I'll figure this next part out. But when you've got your armies, please try not to bring them straight into the venue. If you don't have nowhere to store them, just let us know on the WhatsApp group and we'll figure something out afterwards. But when coming in, what I'm going to do is we'll do the first part. I'm going to call everyone in turn by turn to come to your table. So as soon as you know who you're playing, you'll know which tables you'll be via the Best Coast Parenting app. What I'll do is on the WhatsApp group, I'll put it in as in table 1 first, come to your tables. Once you've come to your tables, I'll then put up table 2, and then we'll do it that way, just so we're adhering to the social distancing. Look, I know this is absolutely bollocks, and it just blows my bloody mind that we have to kind of like the school playground type approach, and I'm really sorry on that. But
we can only do it because of this, though, guys. So I suppose that's the big thing from this. So the
yeah,
only reason why this event can take place is if we keep this really, really tight. Otherwise we just have to cancel it, and we don't want to cancel it because we know you guys want to play 40k, and we know you want to have a cracking time. So you've got to bear with us, because only through us doing this really, really tightly and controlled is the only way that we can do this. The only way that we can make sure that you are safe, and also the only way that me and Darren aren't walking out of this with huge, great big fines, which I'm telling you we can't afford.
yeah, and it's and John hit it on the head there. It's to make sure you guys feel safe in the tournament. As you are pretty well aware, the tournament was originally up to 40 players. We've kept it down below 30 players, just to make sure that we're not crammed in like sardines. We've got plenty of space, plenty of room, so we're adhering to that 2-meter distance. Now, when you've finished your game, what I'm going to need you to do is just stay at your tables until I can get you away from your tables back outside. Now, there is going to be a one-way system, so I've got an indoor and I've got an outdoor. So that's going to be, once we get in there, we've got the table set up, I can explain it on the day. So once I've got you all to your tables, I will talk you through those processes. So that's crucial. Coming into the property itself, I need you all to wear face masks. Like when you're in the building, it's so important that those face masks are on. I know it's not comfortable and know it's not great, but it's one of those things we really have to adhere to. You've got to make sure you've got the face mask on. I've gone out and purchased loads of hand sanitizer. I've also brought some spray that is purposely designed to any surfaces we use. So once you guys are out of the premises, what I'm going to do is just go around the tables, any main surfaces, I'm just going to wipe down to make sure that we, if there is any bacteria or any chance of coronavirus being about, you know, I pray to God there isn't, but if there is, I've got some spray just to clean down all the surfaces. So in between turns, we're going to be busy inside the actual premises itself. Regards to ejected markers, it's, I suppose what I'm going to try to do is get some stickers and just stick down on the table where these ejectives are going to be. With regards to those stickers, once they're down, it's going to be a case. John, I'm just thinking about that. There's some missions where you need to place those ejectives randomly, isn't there?
Yeah.
So that might make it a bit tricky on that side. Keep an eye out for the WhatsApp group. I'll put a message, once we set that WhatsApp group up, I'll put a message out and I'll tell you exactly what we're going to do in regards to those ejectives. But as it stands at the moment, what I plan to do is have some ejectives set down. So as in between turns, I'll come along and I'll remove the ejectives and just place them to where they need to be. Regards with touching stuff on the table itself, we should be, like, when you're moving stuff around, obviously it's a no-brainer on this one, but try not to, please don't share dice. It's crucial. Don't share dice, don't share tape measures. That's got to be, you know, got to be really, really strict on that, that you keep your own dice, you keep your own tape measures. On the day, you know, if you forget to bring your dice, we will have dice for sale at the venue itself, or even if you want to pick up some cool dice, there will be stuff there. So don't stress out on that side. I'm just trying to think what else we need to think of. I need to, when you come into the property, it's important that you all use hand sanitizer as you enter and also as you leave. I've also got a thermal reader that checks for your temperature as well. So as you come into the property, we're taking your temperature. Now, the next one is, this is really important. If you're in an area, if you're coming from an area that is in lockdown, you cannot come to the venue. It's so, so important that if you are in one of those areas that has been put into lockdown, I'm really, really sorry that you will not be able to attend this event. You know, if that is the case, you know, let me know. You know, we will either give you a ticket for the next one or I'll refund you, because that's out of your control. So that'd be unfair on yourself. So we'll make sure that you're okay on that side. But it's really important that if you are coming from one of those areas, unfortunately, I'm really, really sorry that you won't be able to attend this event. There will be, again, if you've got any questions on any of the health and safety processes on this, please drop me a message and, you know, we'll go from there. So when we go at the end of the turn, at the end of the game, obviously wait around until we can get you out. When we go into turn 2 or game 2, what we'll do would be saying, hopefully everyone will be out in the actual car park itself, and then I'll be calling you in to then move to the tables. The same as what we did at the beginning of the day. So it'll be a case of on WhatsApp, I'll just say, okay, table 2, come in, get to your positions, table 3, so forth, so forth. So it's going to take a little bit longer to get to those tables, but I think if we're efficient, I don't think this is going to be a problem at all. I think we're going to be absolutely fine.
And one of the biggest things is just is listen to Darren, listen to me. So a lot of this I know because I'm exactly the same. You're kind of like, at the moment you're thinking, who am I playing first game? How am I planning to win this tournament? Or I just can't wait to play 40k. I know there's all this stuff going on, right? We get that, absolutely. And I know that not all of this you are going to remember, not all of this you're going to take in. Just the most important thing, if I can't stress enough, listen to me and Darren, listen for instruction. If we say do this, make sure you follow it, because this is the most important thing. You know, we really need to safeguard your health and safety and everybody else's health and safety. So it's never been more important that you just listen out for your tournament organisers and you follow our instruction. And if you're not sure, just ask. If you're not sure, just ask. Please don't just do something that we then have to kind of go, you know, stop and do something else. Just ask us, because that is so important.
So with regards to if you have rules queries on the day, so if when you're playing a game and you're not sure on something, or you can't make a decision between you two, drop it down on the WhatsApp, and then I will come around to your tables. Please try to resolve the issue as you can. As we always say, that if it's a case that I need to come to the table, then unfortunately whatever I say goes, whether I'm right or wrong. That's the rule we're going with. So it's probably best that you check those rules yourself, right, John?
Absolutely, yeah. You don't want Darren's rulings. It just ultimately it just becomes even more important because what we want to try and do is leave you guys to just crack on. So there's less involvement with other people. There's less people coming to your tables, and that's kind of what that's there for.
Yeah,
Me and Darren will keep an eye on the WhatsApp group, and we'll kind of go from there. But look, the reality is it is quite a new edition, but it's probably more straightforward and more more clear than it ever has been before. The most important thing about this event is an opportunity for you guys to play 40k. So this isn't the final day and the last day at the LVO. I know there's some competitive people coming, and that's great, and we want you to be competitive 100%. But just spare a thought for this is just amazing that we're out playing 40k again, and we can
yeah,
kind of get
100%.
back to some sort of normality. So just take a deep breath, guys, in the heat of battle, and just organise it between yourself, make a call, and then move on. But if you don't, that's the process, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, 100%. The other thing I was just thinking about just then, if you do have a rules query, maybe just take a picture of it and just put it on, just write a little quick short text onto the onto it and then send it over. If you don't have the time to text, what you can do with WhatsApp, you can do a voice recording. So what you could do is just take a picture of the scenario and then just hold down the mic feature, record a message, and then just send it that way. And then that way, me and John can see it straight away. We can then just pop straight over to yourself, or even just apply to yourself on the WhatsApp. I suppose the less time we come to your tables is not to be awkward. It's just more the case of just thinking about the COVID thing and just trying to reduce that chance of meeting everyone. Now, this event, I know that someone else has put it down as being a social gathering. I class this event as a sporting event, so I don't actually class this as a social gathering. So what that means for ourselves in regards to being in the venue and outside the venue, that we're not, again, I know I've already said this, but it's just so important that we don't clump together. That's so important. Regards to food and drink, so in the venue itself you cannot eat. So at the moment, this time around, until we get back into normality, and as time goes on and we're out of this COVID thing, you can normally eat in the property. Because of COVID, we're not permitted to eat in the property itself. We can drink, but it's got to be drinks that you've brought outside. It's not stuff that you can buy inside. Not that there is a bar or anything like that in this venue. So it might be worth just making sure you've got some bottles of water. Regards to drinks, I'm going to try to stop at cash and carry, so there might be an opportunity to buy some drinks for myself. But again, in the WhatsApp group, I will put some messages in there and keep you informed. Regards to lunch itself, it may be a case of, we see, like, normally what we do is, for the people who haven't been before, I normally get a massive great order of Pizza Hut and get it delivered or something like that, and everyone chip in and we do that. Because of the COVID thing, we can't do that, unfortunately. So it may be a case of, maybe what we could do, John, is maybe order a round of pizzas in, but it'd just be a case of you have to order your own individual pizza. Or do you think that would be a bit too manic?
We'll see how it goes. We'll go away and we'll think about it. We'll try
Yeah,
and work out the best way for you guys, but we'll communicate that all on the lead up to the event. So I think we've probably covered the health and safety and enough now.
yeah,
But I suppose the most important thing, as Darren said, is we need all your details because that's absolutely crucial. You really need to make sure that you don't clump up in groups. You need to make sure that you wait for instruction. And we will communicate as much of the other information as we go.
that's
So
it.
don't worry about it. We want you guys to really, really enjoy your experience.
That's it. Having fun.
Having fun. I know it's a lot to take in, but we'll be there to support you and to help you and to make sure that you understand exactly every step of the way. And once you're in there and you're rolling dice and you're having fun and you're shooting people and stuff like that, you'll forget all about the COVID stuff and you'll just be having a cracking time. And that's the
That's it.
aim. And that's what it's all about. But we just need to make sure that you're all covered, that we're all covered, and that everything's going to go as well as possible. But as Darren said, before we quickly move on, Any questions, any issues, any concerns, get in touch with us and we'll do our best to answer all your questions. But I want to just assure you that we have done everything we possibly can to check with the authorities, to check with the venue, to make sure everything we do completely comply with the law and the restrictions and the guidance. So we've done everything to make sure this is as safe event as we possibly can. We're just now counting on you guys to play your part to make sure the event goes off smoothly. And I think that wraps it up, Darren, from the very boring but
health
very
and safety
important
side,
stuff.
we've got that out. So apologies, it was boring as fuck. Pardon my language. You don't normally hear me swear, but yeah, apologies
It's
that
true.
it is
We know
boring. So let's get on to the fun part, because let's face it. So this next part, we've got a special guest that's kind of do the draw for the players. So that's going to be called out. So you're going to know who you're going to be playing in a second. This special guest has come from a scary place just to bring this for yourself. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this next part. And then afterwards, we've picked a couple of lists out that we're going to go through and talk about a bit more. So let's talk no more. Let's put that on mute. Let's put me on. Okay, we're back. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So Grant, your name wasn't called out, so you are playing the chap that Kenneth Morley was going to be playing. So
Kieran.
Kieran, that's
Kieran
it.
will be fun.
We'll be playing Kieran. So Grant versus Kieran. So that's going to be an interesting one. And there was some interesting names I spotted there that got pulled out of the hat.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so just to kind of give you guys a little bit of kind of a little bit of nuts and bolts before we kind of jump in and have a bit more fun. So as far as the lists go, at the moment they're all blind, so you shouldn't be able to see them. If you can, I've done something wrong and I've messed up, which is possible as well. But fingers crossed, you shouldn't be able to see them, guys. And the reason why I've done that is we are actually still waiting for 3 lists to come in. So those guys will have until midnight. If you know who those guys are, or you're listening, you know who they are. You need to get your list in and you need to register as well, and you need to do that ASAP because the cutoff point will be at midnight tonight. After midnight, if I haven't had registration and I haven't had lists with at least a message or something telling me, well, there's a really good reason why you haven't, you guys will be deducted points because it's unfair. Because what I want to do is make sure I unblind the lists so you guys can start scheming and start having fun with the matchups. So that's kind of why we have. So the lists will all go live tomorrow. When I decide to get up in the morning. So look out for them. They'll go up tomorrow. And then what I will do is, because obviously we've done this draw separately, or we haven't, the masked guy has done this draw separately. So what we'll do is we'll then individually match everybody up. So don't worry about where the matchups will happen. I'll go in and I'll rearrange them so you're matched up against the person that you've seen in the video. So that's kind of giving you just a little bit of kind of background stuff. But basically, you'll get a look at all everyone else's lists tomorrow, and slowly but surely, I will get all the matches rearranged so that as you've seen there, and yeah, all good stuff. So yeah, some exciting looking matchups there, Darren. What ones took your fancy?
Well, this is the interesting part about it because we've had a really good chat going on in our team WhatsApp group. Rob's been saying how many games he's been getting in, and of course he's been pitted against the man
Captain.
himself. Yeah, no, that's someone else. Michael
Oh
Robert's
no,
been
yeah,
mixed up with
right. Oh
Privis.
yeah, that's right.
That's
Oh,
interesting. That's big. That is
it is
big.
big.
So,
It
Mike,
is big.
Matthew is Imperial Fists. Hope that helps. And of course, another big one. Twisted Dice team captain versus Franco.
Andrew versus Franco. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun game. Obviously these guys have been frantically crafting together in our team chat. So now they're going to have to see how they can step up against each other. Franco and Andrew have been getting steadily better and better at the game over the last sort of few months, and both have become pretty competitive. So that's going to be a fun one to see how who gets the better of that matchup. So I can't wait to see that result go through. So yeah, some really exciting matchups. So hopefully you guys are excited as we are. I think there's going to be a few old grudge matches in there. It sounds like a few people, friends and stuff like that. So yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah. So I thought before we finish the stream, we will finish it quite soon because we wanted to make sure that this isn't a long drawn out stream. We just thought I would just look at a few of what potentially I think would be like the top 3-4 players lists, and we'll quickly we won't go through the detail of the list because that'd probably be a little bit unfair. Actually, no, it won't be unfair because you'll see all the lists tomorrow, and these guys have got players against them, so nothing's
Yeah.
going to change. Their opponents are locked in. So I will talk through their lists in brief, but I thought I'd just give you guys a little bit of a flavour of what we think might be the players and the lists to watch out for, just as a bit of fun as we kind of finish off the stream. So I'm going to start off with Captain Twisted Dice, because I do think Andrew is a player to watch out for. He's definitely got his finger on the pulse, and he's been underplaying it in our chat. So he's been very much saying, just getting his hand around ninth edition, and he hasn't played that much, and this is a bit of fun, and
I'm not
blow
buying
off the
it.
cobwebs. But I'm not buying it. Andrew's a really good player, and he's been getting better and better. So he is bringing out the Space Marines, Darren. He's bringing out the Space Marines, and he is bringing out his beloved Salamanders. So first time I've seen the Salamanders, I've known Andrew as a Knight player and a Blood Angels player, but he's got his Salamanders now in tow, and he's
Yeah,
had his finger on the pulse, and yeah, he's bringing the heat, right, Darren?
he is definitely bringing the heat, and he's going to be bringing the heat hard. It's whether or not Franco's can hold his own. He doesn't get a nosebleeds so early on.
Yeah, absolutely. So to give you a brief overview of what kind of Andrew's list looks like, and Franco will probably know full well what this list is because the two of them have been plotting together. So as I said, so he has gone for salamanders. He is going to have a librarian in there. He's going to have some scouts. And he's going to have a Terminator unit, a big beefy Terminator unit. Those guys are super resilient in the Salamanders, and they are kitted out with some Thunder Hammers and some Storm Shields. He's then gone for some Land Speeders. They seem to be the flavour of the moment. These are your standard Land Speeders, not any of that janky Forge World nonsense. But these guys still have multi-melters, which are incredibly good for Salamanders, and heavy flamers. So they're bringing the heat there, and those guys are going to come in and cause some trouble. He's got the brand new eradicators. Those eradicators don't mess about, and
No,
again making the most of the new coolness. Right, they're the new salamanders, and they again are not to be messed with. This army has some real hitting power. He then has a he's got some what they called admech. He's got some admech in there because he does love his admech, and he's also been building an admech army. So he's got a Data Laureus. I can't even pronounce the guy. Between me and Darren, we're all for pronouncing names. But he's got three characters basically. He's got him. He's got a Tech Priest Dominus, and he's got a Tech Priest Manipulus. So all the cool, fun shenanigans that you can play around with those guys. He's then got a huge, great, big, beefy unit of destroyers, all with plasma. So they're pretty scary. And then we're going to round out the list with some Skitarii Vanguard, and some of the new Raiders, which I really like those Raiders. So that gives you a little flavour of what Andrew's bringing in. It absolutely hits like an absolute ton of bricks. And I know he'll underplay it, but I definitely think that Andrew is a player to watch out for 100%. Looks a pretty cool list, right, Darren?
it looks very, very good. And as you said,
Looks
look, Andrew knows his stuff.
he does.
And
Yeah.
I guarantee Andrew's been in his kitchen playing against himself to make sure that he's fully up to speed with what's coming in with ninth.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the next player that I want to just have a little look at, and I couldn't really not because he is one of our former champions, and that is Mr. Simon Puris. Simon is going back to, well, we could say his roots. I think it's hard to say whether Simon is at his heart an Orc player or a Tau player. He seems to represent both quite a lot of the time, but he has gone for the Dirty Tau, the Fishmen. The fish behind you, Darren, will be pleased to hear that Simon is bringing the Fishmen, and he's gone for a fairly familiar list, almost a kind of 8th edition, but with some sort of new tweaks to make it a bit more effective in ninth. He has gone for the gifted pilots and the hardened warheads to make his guys that little bit more effective at shooting, which is always great, and not to have so many penalties and rerolls and all sorts of good stuff. He's then got a Fireblade, and he's got a commander in Cold Star battle suit. He's got the 4 missile pods, which is a really, really good way to run it. He's got some sprinkling of marker drones, which is cool. He's then got Ethereal, who's also got marker drones. So he's gone for quite a lot of marker drones, which is the general change from the shield drones we saw previously. He's then got some strike teams. We've then got 3 of the big boys, 3 of the Riptides. They are going to be 2 of them with their heavy bursts, 1 with the ion accelerator, which will almost certainly be changed to the modified ion accelerator, which is really, really strong. We've then got some drones. So we've got 3 big beefy units of drones, and the list is tailored off with some broadsides, because broadsides got so much better in ninth edition and they were pretty good before. So Simon, like Andy, is very much going for something that is going to hit you incredibly hard, and you're going to have to be made of some stern stuff to be able to avoid getting hammered by the sheer volume of shots coming from that list. And you can't really hide from it, and it's going to hit you really quick because of the smaller boards. So exciting there from Simon. I think that's a list definitely that is going to be hanging around those top tables. We then thought we would have a little look at one of the newer players that we've seen at one of our events, but someone I know is prolific in the tournament scene, and that is Thomas Duch. He is bringing the sisters, doing it for the girl power, Darren.
It's good, rocking it.
Representing,
It'd be interesting to see how the sisters play, because I haven't actually seen any of the sisters actually in tournaments being played at the moment. So obviously I know I can't get close to the table, but I can have a little whiff and maybe smell some perfume coming off. Yeah, but I think that's,
absolutely.
If we pick them up closer towards the stage, we might be able to have like a little bird's eye view and see what goes on over
there. Yeah, and as I said, I'm a bit the same. I don't know sisters super well. I have played them a couple of times, and I find they're quite an awkward army to play against. They have got a lot of tricks. I still don't think people know them that well.
No.
So he's got Celestine. He's also got the Triumph of Saint Catherine, which is that basically terrain piece. That's also very good.
Yeah.
The one that's got about 500 things going on in it, which is super cool. He's then got lots of little units of Battle Sisters, which is cool. He's gone for the Valorous Heart, which I believe are the ones that are. I'm going to get this totally wrong now, and I believe they're the ones that are resilient, so they ignore the -1 and 2 AP. I might be wrong. I'm still kind of getting my head around those guys. Then he's got the Infagarator, which is really, really strong. He's got a couple of those. Then we've got I'll tell you what, I just really don't know the list. I don't know these guys too well. So he's got then 3 units of Sister Repentures. They're really strong as well, really, really quick and get around and cause a lot of issues. He's got the Zephyrum squads as well. Again, he's got speed. He's got the ability to really do some work there. And then we've got Zephyrum squads as well, so with Infernal pistols, so they're going to be able to do some work on kind of the heavier armored stuff. And we've got some rhinos to get some of those sisters around. So what this list is very, very good at, it's very, very good at planning missions. It's actually surprisingly and deceivingly resilient, super, super quick, and actually has some real deceiving stuff in there that can hit you pretty hard as well. If played well, I think this will definitely be one to watch out for. And that's saying that from someone that doesn't really know the army particularly well, but I think actually this is going to hit quite hard, and it's going to really play those missions, which is like super key, right? That's what's gonna win, right?
Yeah, look, if you're going to play this game, those primary objectives are massive in this game, and obviously picking your secondaries is good, but I still think this game is all about holding those primaries, or at least even trying to deny your opponent to get those primaries. This is massive.
Absolutely. And then the final list I just want to cover, because I think this is a bit of a dark horse, because one person I know that knows their list particularly well, and I think has always been on the periphery of potentially breaking through and winning something relatively big, and that is Paulie. I know Paulie, met him a couple of times. He's a top lad, and he is very much batting for the Dark Kin. The Dark Elder will be representing. Now, the Dark Elder, I'm not sure whether the people really rate them in 9th edition. I think they're probably taking a bit of a hit. Paulie really knows his army. In a slightly smaller field, I think with a little bit of luck on his side, and I think he might actually do some pretty good work. I know he's been working with some other very, very cool Dark Elder players out in the community, so the guy knows his stuff, and if he can unlock the secrets to Dark Elder, I think this man will do the job. So
pain, eh?
Absolutely, bringing literally the pain engines, my friend. So what have we got here? So we've got Blackheart, obviously. So we've got access to the old Vect. We've got an Archon. We've got some Cabalite Warriors. We've got a Slife, which is just a little cheap guy. We've got a couple of Ravagers with their disintegrator cannons, Grizzly trophies. We've got probably the beefy stuff, I suppose. And we have got Incubi. We've got we've got some Venoms. We've got Homunculus. We've got some Racks. And we've got the big beefy boys, the pain engines themselves. We've got some Talos, and we've got two big beefy units of 6 of those, all kitted out with their micro scalpels and their haywire blasters. So I think again, and those guys are super strong and resilient about sitting on the board, dishing out a lot of pain. You don't really want to go too close to them. They're really hard to clear off the board. And I think actually with then the speed that Paulie's got to play with in the rest of his army, he might well surprise a few people. And even though they're considered quite fragile, he's actually got some quite resilient stuff. I think he might be a little bit of a dark horse, and I can see him potentially coming through the pack and bringing it home for the Dark Kin.
Yeah,
So
sure.
those are my kind of top 4 picks, I think, for potentially doing very, very well and maybe one of them taking the title. If you really want to hear about it, guys, we're potentially more than happy to do maybe some more videos on lists and stuff. We could break them down further. But we just wanted, before we kind of finished off, we just wanted to give you a little bit of a flavour of potentially what we thought might be pretty hot. And as I said, you will see all the lists tomorrow on BCEP because I will unblind them. And as I said, anyone that hasn't got their list in, you have till midnight. Otherwise, you're getting some penalties, and we don't want to give out penalties. We've never had to give out penalties before, but really, we're less than a week before the event now, and people want to see what they're playing against, and it's only fair that everybody gets that opportunity. So make sure you
The
do.
list I'm rooting for, John, and that's the Orcs. So, Michael, do not let me down. I really want to see how those buggies play out. I want to see the Orcs being victorious in at least 4 out of the 6 games. No pressure, my friend.
No pressure at all. But
No
look, there
pressure.
is a real. What I would say is there's some really, really cool lists in there. There's so a real good, diverse bunch of very, very different lists, which is going to be really exciting to see how it plays out. I still don't think there is any really sight of a stable and defined meta at the moment. So you
No.
guys are all out there ready to kind of give it your best shot and see who comes through with the title. So I think that's it for us this evening, unless there's anything particularly you wanted to cover tonight, Darren.
No, I think that's. I think we've covered quite a lot tonight, and really appreciate everyone that's taken the time to come on and join us tonight. You guys and girls have been absolutely frigging awesome. Now, if you haven't already, please make sure you're following the page. Make sure you're following us on YouTube. Enough of the self promotional, right?
Please do. Yeah, follow us,
Yeah,
please.
look,
We would love it.
it's gonna be really cool to get back into the tournament scene and actually seeing some games being played. Look, really looking forward to this. I'm just gutted that I'm not actually on the tables myself playing, because it's been a long time since I've got into the actual tournament side and actually had a tournament game. So really looking forward to this. So this is gonna be cool. Gonna look forward to it. So it's gonna be cool. Anyway, look, if there's no questions, we'll give it a couple of minutes because I know there's a bit of a time delay from when we talk and when the comments come up. Once this stream's finished, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate. Add me on Facebook, drop me a private message, and I can answer any of your questions. Or if you don't want to speak to myself, drop a message to Ace as well. So one of us will definitely get back to yourself and go from there. Putting it on the Facebook group itself, sometimes that is slow and sometimes the text gets missed on there. For some, God knows what reason it is. As soon as you put a comment on there, sometimes it doesn't flag up. So there has been some comments that we've missed, and it's been because of that reason. So do apologise, but please do just drop us a personal message, and we can go from there. But otherwise, I think that is it, John. I think there is no more comments coming in.
I think that's it. Yeah, but thank you very much for joining us. We've had a good sort of consistent sort of 15 to 20 people in most of the evening. So thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed the little draw. I think
Yeah,
it was
and
pretty. I think it was pretty awesome.
the list I'm going to post up on YouTube as well. So that little video will be going live up on YouTube. So if you missed it and you want to go back for it, that'll be up there so you can actually play that back as well.
Absolutely, yeah. But thank you very much for joining us, guys. We really appreciate it. We can't wait to see you next weekend. Stay safe, look after yourselves. Stay well for the next week, at least.
Yeah.
and
Don't forget to get your details into me as well. We really need those details. That's so
don't
important.
don't make us chase, because like you guys, we don't do this full time, so it takes a lot of time to try and get this all in place. So please don't make us chase you. Get the details to me and Darren, or to Darren in this case, and we'll go from there. All right, but you have a good